Recorded this computer recording in progress and give everyone the okays that we need. Hello, everyone. We are recording this session. This is Lynn Hamilton, your lead instructor over with Sampson Properties to walk you through another tantalizing topic of discussion for the day. So today's topic in the Master Your Marketing or Marketing Mastery, however you want to label it, is all about the newsletter. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you are not using a newsletter, you are missing the mark. There have been tons of studies done and research done of the importance of a business or a business entity person to have a newsletter. It separates you from the crowd. It shows that you kind of know what's going on in your industry. It's a great communication. And here at Sampson, you have the option of not one, but two amazing footprints to use. So we're going to talk about the first one that is amazing, amazing, amazing. It is the 4-page newsletter. Now, here's a piece of that puzzle. Donnie has often thrown out a challenge and has said, if you use it for 1 year and you can honestly say it did not generate you any business, he will reimburse you for what it costs to just go out. Now, I know for a fact he ain't paying anybody out because there's no way that that is going to happen without having some business generated from it. So, but here's the kind of parameters around that 4-page. It is provided monthly. You just have to go in, take whoever picture is on there, take it off, put yours in, your contact information in there. It is designed for you to drop in market stats about your footprint. It is recommended that the back page be used a little bit about you personally, what's going on in your life, your family, your dogs, your garden, whatever, so that they're connecting with you on a business and a personal level as well. Currently, as of this recording, it is needed to send out 200 at a time. It is currently $1.50 per mailer. So $1.50 times 200 is $3.50, if I did my math correct, to send that out. Now, I get it. It's a phenomenal piece, but I also understand that not everybody's got that budget to work with. And as I was out in our footprint, I started hearing back from a lot of agents that they loved it, but they either didn't have 200 in their database yet, or they didn't have the funds in which to support that for the long term. I get it. So I went to my backup source. There was a home warranty company that I have used their newsletter for umpteen years, and I loved it. So I said, okay, plan B, here's another option. Then after a couple months of that, I went, wait a minute, why can't Sampson create a 1-page front back grab and go newsletter that still does the same purpose, and agents can go in, download it, take my picture out or whoever's picture's on it, put your picture in. You need to know your name and know how to spell it. You need your phone number, your email, and your website. Minimum. That's it. So 2 years ago, we started on this support document of a 1-page grab and go newsletter that is the other backup option for our agents. So we're going to talk today about how to leverage either of the newsletters, how to really use it to your advantage. And I was just double checking the library. There is already, and I will repost it when I post this, there is a how-to step-by-step video, how to go into Cardinal Nest, go into the resources, get the newsletter, download it. It will open up in Canva. I have asked our marketing department to always make sure that whatever pictures are used in the 1-page grab and go newsletter fall into the free Canva account category, because there's tons of great photos that they can pull from. But I don't want to tell our agents this one's going to cost you this amount. This one's free, but oh, wait, you need to have the 20 or $30 or $20 a month or whatever it is for the upgraded Canva version. I said, no, that defeats the purpose. I want to tap into this niche, not this niche. So with that, we double check and make sure that the photos that are used in the grab and go are in the free category, the free platform. So again, if at some point you want to upgrade to the paid version of Canva, knock yourself out, because I'll tell you what, we are still learning the bells and whistles that are in the upgraded version of Canva. But if you're watching your pennies, start with the free account so that you can access and update the newsletter and be able to run with it. All right. So next point I want to make with you. Once you have the newsletter, and again, we walk you through this in the how-to, you can save it, you download it and save it in one of two formats. If you save it as a PDF, that is a document. You also, and again, I would save it as a PDF. I put it in a folder, save it in a folder marked newsletter. I would put the month and the year, because over time you're going to build them up. Then I would go back to the download and I would save it again as a JPEG. A JPEG is a photo. And again, when I save it, it'll take you to your photo file. I would create a folder the first time that says newsletters, and I would save it in there so I had it as backup as well. One thing that you will notice on the newsletter is there is no date on there. We did that intentionally. Now, if you want to add a date, we show you how to do that. It's add text box, type in the month or the season and the year, or just the season or the month, I don't care. And it's easy breezy done. But we left it off intentionally. Here's the other perk that we gave you. With the grab and go newsletter, and I'm sure you could find it out of the 4-page as well, we try to have at least one article in there that can connect to an item that you can use for a pop by little gift. Case in point, one of the articles that jumps to mind was about journaling. So we thought, okay, obviously a journal is the perfect match to it, and a cute pen is a match to it. So personal preference, again, I've got no skin in the game. You can get these wherever you want. You can order them online. But if you've got a Five Below anywhere near you, they have a good selection of really cool little journals, and pick up a couple. Now, you can tie a bow around it, but if you're going, I'm not the bow kind of person, you can purchase those little bungee cords, Dollar Tree, for a pack of 5 or whatever they are. Put a bungee cord around it. There is not anybody that can't benefit from a bungee cord. I'm just saying, we should all have them in our car just in case. So you now have taken a basic newsletter. You have now the ability to leverage it and partner it with a pop-by gift, because it coincides, whatever that pop-by gift is, with an article that is in the newsletter. Now, there was one about candles one time. Again, pick up an inexpensive candle. You can leave that, as a pop-by gift. Your possibilities are endless on pop-by gifts. So again, taking one item, leveraging it, and making 2 uses out of it. The benefit of not having the date on there. So again, let's go back and reference the one that has the journal. You pick up 10 journals and you print out 10 copies of the newsletter, you fold it, you put it in there, you put the bungee cord or the tie around it, and you say, okay, these are my pop-by gifts. So who do you give your pop-by gifts to? Obviously, your A and your top clientele, or if it's been a past customer, or if you're out and about. Most agents that do pop-by gifts have at least 1 or 2 in their car. So if they go, oh, Bob and Susan live over there, I can swing by and just drop it off for them. Are they going to be home? Probably not, which is okay. You leave it on the porch, take a picture of it on their porch, and you text them the picture that says, hey, I was in your neighborhood, thought of you, left you a little gift on your porch. Boom. Done. That is one way to use that newsletter. But because there's no date on there, your intent was to get them out this month. But let's say you don't make it and you have 3 left over. They can be used next month because there's no date on the newsletter. So see what we did for you there? We've kind of given you an open window in which to work those. So again, you can do that with any issue of the newsletters. If there's one that you see that you resonate with, an article with a pop-by gift, your possibilities are endless. All right, that's why we didn't put a date on. Now, one other thing. We started giving it a generic title. And I thought, I'm not a fan of that. So I turned to our trusty little chat GPT and said, give me some ideas of a real estate newsletter that I could possibly use. And down it gave me a whole list of some really cool ideas of names for the newsletter. And there were 4 or 5 in there that I went, ooh, I really like that one. I like that one. That one's cool. So as a resource for you, you can go do that yourself, or on my website, that's your backup go-to source. My website under bonus hand or the Agent Resource Center, drop down bonus handouts. Is there a list? And in there are other names for a newsletter. It's right there. It's going to give you about 20 options. Take a peek, see if you like any of those better than the generic one that comes on it, and you are set and good to go. All right, so you can change the title of the newsletter based off your personal preference, based off if you're using it for geofarming, however you're going to be using it, that can be changed. And it is so easy to customize with a click and a change of a color, click, change of a font, click, change the size of the font. So all of those step-by-step instructions are given in the how-to video. We're not going to cover them here, but just know that it is simple and broken down for you. All right, what's next? In the 2-page grab and go, we have in the upper left-hand side of the newsletter is the featured corner where we promote Samson. I've got one right here, so you can see it right there. Right there is the Samson little blurb. Down below it is the other box for our featured vendor. Now, here at Samson, we've got lots of vendors. So it could be title, it could be home warranty, it could be mortgage and lending, it could be one of the others. What I want you to do is, as you download it and take a look at it, say, okay, can I tie this in to information that my homeowner might appreciate getting? So a handwritten note or a Post-it note stuck on here could say, have you considered the benefits of having a home warranty? Appliances don't last forever. We have those handouts already available for you. So that can be added to it and run with it. Now, one other. I'm going to share with you a whole list of ideas of how you can leverage and use the newsletter. Frankly, I would rather have most agents hand out or leave behind a newsletter than a business card any day of the week. Most of the business cards are nothing. I mean, they may look nice, but they're not going to keep them for more than a second or two. Where they're going to keep the newsletter, whether it's the 2 or 4-page newsletter, they're more than likely going to keep it and hang on to it. Now, let me do a side-by-side comparison of I bet I never thought of that moments. So on the 4 page, it is recommended, obviously, that they get mailed out. You can save it in a platform where you can email it out. But as Sarah often shares, it is too easy to go delete, delete, swipe, and it's gone. But wait, there's a trick. Whether it be the 2 page or the 4 page, you look at it and you find an article in there and you go, So in connecting in the puzzle pieces, you know, how everything fits together, of the 543, 5 contacts, 4 text messages, 3 emails. I would go to Denise and either call her and say, hey, I just emailed out my newsletters. There was an article in there. I thought of you because I know you love to cook. Let me know what you think. More than likely, it's going to go to a recording. I leave the message and hang up. It may be a text message that you can send. Hey, there was an article in the newsletter that I just emailed to you. Thought of you. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Email, text message. The beauty to that is it's combining and leveraging things that we already have and we already need to be doing into one easy connection. Often agency, yeah, well, I don't know what to say when I call them. Well, yeah, most of the time you don't, or what you say is the wrong thing. And so you become allergic to the phone. But if you know that all you've got to do is say, hey, I know that you're looking, okay, let's say you've got someone who is getting ready to buy, and maybe you're working with them. There is an article in one of these issues that says, how do I know you found the one? I would send a message to David and say, hey, I just sent out my newsletter. There's an article in there about how do I know if I found the one, immediately thought of you. Make sure you take a peek at it. Boom. There is my newsletter. There is my monthly point of contact. There is my 543 contact connection, and you've tied it all together and passed it off. I may call Carl and say, Carl, hey, it's Lynn, your favorite realtor. I just emailed you over my monthly newsletter. There's an article in there regarding the fire extinguishers, and I thought of you because I know how much you like to cook. And according to your wife, you're a bad cook. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say that part, but maybe I would, depending on how well I know them. Because there's an article in here about fire extinguishers. Most people have their fire extinguishers sit there for 10 or 15 years and are never used. How do we know they're still good by the time you need them? Just saying. All right. Now, this one that I have in my hand just happens to be the one with the journal in there as well. Let's say that I know Karen and I know that that's something that she enjoys doing. I'm going to go to the 5 below, get one of those really pretty, maybe the velvet covered ones, and get a nice little pin. And next time I'm out in Karen's area, I'm going to drop it off and I'm just going to put a Post-it note on this, or I will fold this. So the article about journaling is up, put it on the journal, put a little bow around it or a bungee cord, and I'm going to leave it on her porch. Because I know she's at work. So I know that, or I was making sure she gets it. I would take a picture of it and say, hey, was in your neighborhood, thought of you. I left your present on your porch. Hope you enjoy it. So this is showing you how one thing, the newsletter, can be used in multiple ways to leverage, to make that touch point, to add a value. And again, the articles that are chosen to go in the newsletter are strategically placed. If there is the featured home warranty, we may have an article in that issue about why it's important to consider a home warranty. What does it do? What does it not do? If it's about the lender, we may have an article, if there's an article in the newsletter about mortgage rates or whatever, we're going to tie it in. if there is an article about, um, you know, the escrow process, we may have our title company in there. So you see how we're taking one thing and connecting it in multiple ways so they all work together, and you're not having to reinvent and recreate different things. It's all nestled up into one nice, neat little package. Okay. Pop buys. Brian Buffini has taught those for the last umpteen years. I am sorry, those puppies work. Everyone that teaches in this industry is always talking about the importance of bringing an item of value to stay top of mind, so that when the time comes that that client, their home no longer meets their needs and they need to reach out to a real estate agent, you are top of mind. And with any luck, you will be the one that will get the call. But if you're not staying in touch with them, yeah, good luck. I can't tell you how many times I've had agents cry on my shoulder because they just found out that their best friend sold the house and bought another one and didn't use them. I'd say, okay, fine. But when was the last time you talked to them? Well, it's been a while, but they promised that when they got ready to sell or to buy, they'd use me. Okay, that didn't answer my question. How long ago or how long has it been since you have actually connected with them? Oh, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, a year. And I just go, I'm sorry, you're not all that in a bag of chips. You did not stay top of mind with a gentle of I'm still around, because they assume you probably have gone out of business because they know a dozen other agents that have gone out of business. So we give you the tools, we give you the ideas to run with. You just got to run with it. Now, let me ask you another question, because you know I like asking questions. Have you ever gone to a restaurant, and had a waitress or waiter serve you? I'm going to say yes. When you leave the tip, and you can't be skimpy, leave them a newsletter with it. And you can, there's a space here when you trifold it, you can actually write on it as well. Thank you so much for the great service. I noticed it because I try really hard to give great service to the clients that I serve as well. I'll leave this behind. Your business card is going to be nothing. You leave that behind, it's going to go in their pocket, and on their way home while they're chewing their gum and they decide the gum's gone flat, they're going to reach in their pocket and say, oh, this will work. And they're going to stick their gum in it and throw it away. This, they won't. They will keep it in their hands. Now, when you also have this, I always made sure that my newsletters went out the first, second, or the third, no later than that, of the month. Way back when, we used to have to address the envelopes and mail them out. Then as email became a easier thing to use, I reached out to everyone and said, hey, do you want to continue receiving this by mail or email? Which do you prefer? They would tell me. I went from mailing over 200 emails a month down to mailing about 35 a month. Everything else went by email. With that, when you save the email as a JPEG, that is a photo, that can be embedded into an email. If you've saved it as the PDF, that is what gets attached to the email. When I would have it where it was attached in the body of the email, subject line, I'd put, your monthly newsletter. I would put in there in the body of the email what the 4 articles were. In this issue, or this issue features, how do I know I found the one? This one happens to be the banana walnut bread. Then benefits of journaling and fire extinguish safety. I would put right in the body of the email what the articles were and say, enjoy. And oh, by the way, feel free to pass it on. Feel free to forward it and pass it on to someone else. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret, something else that I did, which worked out really well. And yes, it's old school, but it still works and it can still be done. I reached out to my SOI and said, hey, I need 5 to 10 bakers or cooks that enjoy cooking and baking. My inbox exploded. I told him, I said, okay, so what I'm asking is I will get you your newsletter early, but here's what I'm going to ask you to do. As part of my VIP team, I need you and the kids to make the recipe and then give me a 1 or 2 sentence comment back on whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, whether the kids liked it, whether it was easy to do, whatever. A comment from them, and if appropriate, a comment from the kids. They were all over it. So my 10 in my VIP group would get the newsletter as soon as I had access to it. And I'd say, okay, quick, try out the recipe, give me your feedback, and see if I feature your comments in my newsletter email that goes out the first of the month. Man, oh man, those that loved it would check it out. They'd give me a sentence or 2 back. The kids loved it, or the kids would say they loved it. They loved making it, whatever. Then when I sent the email out the first of the month with that newsletter attached, I'd have the recipe listed on there. I said, oh, by the way, here is what my VIP team had to, my taste testers had to say about this month's recipe. Well, and again, because I got permission, I would use just their first name. Or if the kids were giving it, I would use the kid's first name with their age, never a last name. This is what they had to say, and out it would go. Now, Denise, I'm going to pick on you for a second. Let's say I send you this and you get the kids and the grandkids to come in and do it, and I send it back, and your name and the kids' name are featured in my email. And then I say, oh, by the way, don't, feel free to pass this on and share it. Do you think she's going to sit on it? No, it is going to everybody in the family because the kids or the grandkids are mentioned in it. Then all of a sudden, I started getting emails back with, I'm Denise's friend, and she sent me the newsletter with the article, and the kids' comment about the newsletter. Can I get a copy of those too? I'd be happy to add you. And that is one, as simple and silly as you may think that sounds, it will slowly start building up. Because if you're mentioned in there, your kids are mentioned in there, or the grandkids are mentioned in there, you are not sitting on it, you are passing it along. That's a 2 thumbs up. All right. So that's another way that you can leverage out that newsletter. Again, you're just expanding and building out your SOI. So that's why I did it, but that's also why and the benefit that came from it. All right. We carefully select the articles that go in there because there's tons. There's tons. We try to give them real estate related. Here's one that just happened to pop up in my stack here. 4 common mistakes first-time home buyers need to avoid. I'd make sure, because in my database, I completed Jumpstart Session 3 and I knew who my renters were. their next step would be to buy. So I'm going to make sure that to that group, I would send them a text or I'd send them a call. I send a call, especially if I knew it was going to go to voicemail because they worked during the day. I just leave them a message and say, hey, I just sent my monthly newsletter out. There is a great little article in there about common mistakes that first-time home buyers make. I know that someday you may be a first-time home buyer. I wanted to make sure you saw it. Done. Out you go. So hopefully by now you are starting to see, and your little brain is starting to go, how to take this one simple newsletter, whether it's the 4-page or the 2-page, leverage it. We'll customize it first, take my picture and my information off of it, leverage it, have fun with it, and make that a large part of the marketing to your sphere, to your SOI. How I structured my business was the first week of every month was when I focused on my SOI. If you've gone through Jumpstart already, you know that there's 4 weeks of the month and 4 sessions of Jumpstart. In Jumpstart session 4, we talk about the marketing department of your business. And what are the one is always database. What is the second, third, or fourth tire pillar you want to add to your business? So how I broke it down was the first week of every month, I focused on, my focus was on my database. Did the newsletter go out? Check. Did my mid-month home maintenance tip or featured vendor, was that prepped and ready to go on the 15th of the month? Did I have that ready? Then I would look at, do I need to have any birthday cards to go out? Do I need any home anniversary cards to get ready to go out based off when my previous clients had purchased their home? So that all those little things. Do I need to do an annual market review? Do I need to do anything else for my sphere? And I would focus on that the first week of the month. The second week of the month, I would focus on my second pillar. Third week of the month, I focus on the third pillar. And fourth week of the month, I focus on the fourth pillar. And yes, I would go into my calendar and mark the entire week with focus on database, focus on home buyer workshops, focus on open houses, focus on whatever it was I was doing. I had it on my calendar to visually see as well. And then as we've converted over to electronics, I'd put it right in there and send it to run Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 8, and it would say database. So I remembered that was the week I focused on the database. Second week, same thing. Now, if your brain goes the other direction, you can reverse it. So every Monday, you're focusing on your database. Every Tuesday, you're focusing on the second pillar. Every Wednesday, you're focusing on your third pillar. You can do it that way as well. That way you've got a track, you're staying focused, and you're running with it. Okay. All right. Let me pause here for a quick moment, flip through my little collection of newsletters here and see if there's anything else specific that I want to share with you. Oh, yeah. One thing I want to share with you about the newsletter is me in marketing are in the process of doing a couple of what I'm going to call special editions of a newsletter. It's not going to be a series. It'll be just a one-off. One of them will be to focus on 4 articles that pertain to a first-time home buyer. It'll be focused on that. We'll rename it to be appropriate for it. Another one may be on thinking of selling. What are 4 articles that will help a seller get prepared? 4 different articles. One topic, 4 basic articles. We may do one on seniors. We may do one on decluttering because everyone's got that issue. You got space, you filled it up. Now you want to think about moving in a year. Where do I start? What are things you need to do 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year out if you're thinking long term, you're going to be getting ready to sell? So again, we're going to be doing a collection of one issue specialty for a specific topic. We've been asked for it and we're working on it now. All right. Let me give you a couple of quick reminders and some things to think about. What is the purpose of a newsletter? Yeah, we kind of hit this in the beginning, but here's my notes. A newsletter is a periodical sent usually by email that informs your audience of the latest news, tips, or updates related to your product or service. It shows that you are in tune with what's happening in your industry. It shows that you are on your toes and are interested in providing them information that's going to be helpful to them. It establishes and builds relationships. It increases your audience. Remember, Denise, the kids quoted in the email. Yeah, okay, there you go. It is cost and time effective because you're not rewriting it, grabbing and going with it. It increases leads and sales. It boosts other digital efforts, and it positions and measures your brand awareness. Because again, let's say you've got a particular color palette that you are doing your branding with. You can change your titles on this to go with that color palette. You can change it monthly just for fun. However, whatever, you're good to go. All right. So the question then comes is, okay, I think this is great. Where do I find the newsletter? In Cardinal Nest, you will search in the search box. You can just put news. You don't have to put newsletter, and it will search and find it. Again, there's the 4-page option that's there, and there is the 2-page grab and go. You click on to download it, and if you've already know how to customize it within Canva, you're ready to roll. If you don't know how to do it in Canva yet, there is, and I'll attach it when I upload this video, I will attach the how-to right with it as well. The how-to, and it is step-by-step of how to walk through, once you download it into Canva, how to walk through what you need to update and where you need to go with it. Now, another great idea and suggestion is you can, if you have started a blog or anything on your website, in Jumpstart Session 1, I've taught you how to use QR Code Monkey, which is free. I have no skin in the game. Create a free custom color, either one solid color, a color gradient. You can change the pixels on it. You can add a word in the middle or a picture in the middle of it. I walk you through how to create a QR code, and then you save it on your computer. You can add a QR code onto the newsletter as well. You can put it on the front. If you scoot the title over, you can put it there. You can put it on the back. That QR code, always, always, always tell them when they scan that code where it is taking them. You have just upped the odds of them actually going to scan the QR code, because most people will not scan a QR code unless they know specifically who it's from, well, you, but then where it's going to take them. So that's why you always put where it's going to take them to. It's going to take them to your blog. There you go, for example. So that is one extra bonus you can add onto your newsletter to keep people engaged. All right. I'm going to ask if there's any questions or any additional ways that you have used the newsletter. Go ahead and drop it over to the chat box. I'm going to go take a look at that in just a minute. Now, I always had about 5, if not 10, with me at all times. If I was out and about somewhere and there was a community bulletin board, oh, I left a couple of newsletters behind. I would often have the push pins and then these little binder clips. Let me get it off. These little binder clip things. I always had these in a little Ziploc or in a pouch with me because you can take the push pin and put this on a bulletin board and then on the clamp part, attach your newsletters. I would always attach about 5. And then when I made sure I kept track of where I left my newsletters, so I could go back the following month and attach the new ones. So there you go. Another great way, kind of funny story. Okay. I was up in Northern Virginia doing a class. We decided to go grab a bite to eat afterwards. I rode with one of the agents. She had to move her newsletter off the seat so I could get in the car. So we go in, we finish gabbing, chatting, sharing ideas, the whole bit. We pay, we get ready to leave, and we walk out. We get to the parking lot, and I turn around and say, all of you were fired. And they paused for a second and laughed. I said, none of you left your newsletter behind. We walked past a community bulletin board heading out of the business, and not a one of you attached your newsletter to it. I'll tell you, it was the funniest thing ever because they scattered. Supposedly, how roaches scatter when you turn the light on? Okay. It was like I just turned the light on because they all scattered and ran to their car, grabbed their newsletters, came back in, went inside, posted them on the bulletin board. And the gal that I was with, she got one and took it to the 2 gentlemen that were outside dumping the trash and rinsing out the trash cans. They were Spanish speaking. She was able to speak Spanish. And so she was able to communicate with them. And I just stood there cracking up laughing. But what did it turn out to be? 2 of them ended up with transactions out of it. One had pulled it off the community board and called her weeks later. And the other one said, wait a minute, my aunt is needing to buy. Do you think you could help her? Agent said, sure, I'd be happy to. Set up a consultation, did everything correctly, and bada boom, bada bing. What did it cost him for that lead? A newsletter. What did it cost to print? Probably nothing. So stop and pause and ask yourself, who did I see this last week? And did I leave them or leave behind a newsletter? You go get your car serviced, leave one behind. Accidentally or on purpose, leave it behind. Hair done, nails done, anything, anybody, anyplace else, accidentally or on purpose, leave one behind. Someone's going to pick it up at some point. Again, I'd rather have you leave a newsletter than a business card any day of the week. Now, I will tell you a funny. One of the gals years ago was teaching this basic concept, created a newsletter that had articles about for sale by owner. Why that's probably a bad idea. She printed out a half a dozen of them, went to the local bookstore, went to the for sale by owners for dummies books, folded them up, put them in the book about 5 pages in, and left. Did she ask permission? No. Should she have? No. You get permission or forgiveness. That would have been a forgiveness. Then she went to the library and did the same thing with some of the library books that were real estate or for sale by owner stuff, stuffed her newsletter in there. About 2 weeks later, she gets a call from a gentleman laughing hysterically and says, are you the one? You must be the one that left the newsletter in the book. And she goes, yeah, that was me. He said, lady, I don't know who you are, but your creative marketing tells me that I want to hire you to sell my house. Yes, I was going to do it myself as a for sale by owner. I got the for sale by owner for dummies books. I got 5 or 10 pages in thinking, this is way more than I thought it was going to be, came across your flyer and thought, that's who I need to hire. Because if she is that creative, she will be able to market and sell my house. It was not a cheap house, by the way. It was about $800,000. So again, stop and think. Who are you seeing, even in passing, that you could fold a newsletter and give it to them? Even if it's at the checkout line, say, hey, slip this in your pocket, enjoy it on your next break. I used to attach a lifesaver or a mint on them, and I would leave them with the people at the checkout when I would be going out of the grocery store. Kick back and enjoy this later. And there's a mint on there for you as well. They loved it. They loved it. Again, you never know for sure where your next client's going to come from necessarily. It's not about, ooh, they're going to see this and go, ooh, oh, that's a really nice picture. That's a good article. Honey, I think we should sell the house so this person can have a transaction. It doesn't work like that. You want to stay top of mind so that when that day comes, that their home no longer meets their needs, they're going to think of you versus going, oh my gosh, do we know a real estate agent? Do we, how do we find one? You've already established a little bit of rapport with them. So there you have it. That in a nutshell. So let me jump over to our chat box, take a peek if there's any additional comments over there. Having an issue with the front. Let me look into that and see what's going on. There is, okay, so there has been a slight glitch on downloading some of our stuff. The download or the preview, for whatever reason, in the new platform is not working correctly. So sometimes you've got to go click on either the date, which is weird, and then it will download from there. So if you're having specific problems, still check those other possible click options. And if you have a problem, let me know, and I'll make sure that I relay the message back to our marketing department, because they're the ones that add them to our library of newsletters. Now, the last thing I'm going to share with you is we have asked our marketing department to, whenever possible, 99.9% of the time is what I'm asking, is that by the 15th of the month, the following month's newsletter will be ready and available. So you're not having to wait until the 1st to get it. It's going to, again, our target goal is to have it available by the 15th of the previous month. And in fact, I'm helping with some of the issues, the additions month by month. So my goal is to get them several months uploaded ahead of time, so our marketing department can do their magic to it and have them available ahead of time in a library, so you can go get them a month in advance or even 2 months in advance. So fingers crossed, that is my target goal, is to have them up and available to you sooner than later. Okay. All right. Did that give you, yes, Denise, you got a question?
This one over a cardinal nest, because I didn't have any problems for once, right? So I went to resources and I clicked on grab and go, and then I clicked on the heading, and then that takes you to the next page, and you have to scroll down, and in blue at the bottom of the little box it says grab and go 2-page newsletter. And if you click on that, then that takes you to the newsletter.
Okay.
So you have to click like on 4 things to get to it now, but
okay. I will let them know that's not my preferred way to do it, and see if we can streamline it a little bit. I know there's some magic going on behind the scenes to try to get some of that cleaned up, because when they merged programs, it did some funky stuff, and now we're trying to unfunky stuff it. Okay. But thank you for that. Did this open your eyes a little bit as to what the newsletter could possibly do for you in your business, and why we are constantly saying, use the newsletter, use the newsletter, use the newsletter. Again, it's way more valuable than just a business card. I would much rather have you hand out a newsletter than a business card any day of the week. Okay. All right. I'm going to go download this and post this up on my Listen and Learn page on my website. Over to the Agent Resource Center, drop down, Listen and Learn. I just posted the one class we just finished an hour ago. This one will be coming up right behind it. And yes, I will include the how-to instructions as well. Here's your challenge. Block off a little bit of time, either this evening or tomorrow, to download, at least download once and customize it just a little bit. And once you get started on it, you find how easy it was and how quickly you can go in, download them, save them as a PNG, which is or JPEG, that is a picture. A PDF is a document. It is that PDF document that you can also add to your website. That's why I'm recommending that when you download it in both formats. You just have to do one at a time, so that when you're ready to build out your website and you want to add your newsletters in there, it's there. And if you want to see what that looks like from a consumer looking at it, go to my website, lynnhamilton.samsonproperties.net. Next to the Agent Resource tab, the next tab to the right says just Resource Center, I think. The drop down on that says Newsletter. Click on that. You'll see 4 or 5 newsletters there. Click on it and you'll see exactly what your consumer, your client, your potential client will see once we get you set up and rocking and rolling. Okay. Has this been helpful? Give me a yay or nay. And with that, I see thumbs popping up. Glad that helps. My friends, you go be awesome. Go be wonderful. Go do what the other agents, yes, you know, I'm going to say this, are too lazy to do. There's more business coming and fewer agents. It is time to rock the house and take advantage of what our spring market is going to have. Go get prepped, go get ready, knock it out of the park, leave those newsletters here, there, and everywhere. Leave them behind when you're having dinner or when you're getting your hair and nails done or when you got service on your car done, and anywhere else you can think of that you can leave one behind, or even just ask the business if you could leave a few in a stand for their clients to potentially pick up. Sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes they'll say no, and that's okay. You don't know until you ask. All right, go be wonderful, go be awesome. Remember, I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. See you in the next session.
Thanks,
Bye for
Lynn.
now.